Welcome back to Mountain Connections. Well, Mother's Day is almost just a week away. Lindsey Hargett of LK Cooking is checking in with us virtually through the screen. She's going to tell us some great recipes we can make for Mom. Lindsey, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's great to see you. Before we dig into Mother's Day, you've been able to do some virtual online classes throughout this time. Tell me a little bit about those.
Yes, so it's basically what you see here. So well, I guess what you don't see, I've got all of my gear set up behind the scenes. And for my classes, I do have an overhead camera so I can show you exactly what I'm cooking, what I'm cutting, everything like that. And they've been really fun. I've been excited about talking about these for Mother's Day because I've had a few people sign up to do family classes with their moms for Mother's Day. So we can have however many people tune in that you want, or just one person. And so you can have mom on one screen in her house, and then you and your family, and all of the siblings from their own homes being safe at home, and we're all making the same recipe together. So I've got all my ingredients, you have all yours, and it really is almost like being together in person. So we've got all of your family, we're all making whatever your favorite meal is, and then you guys can even stay on the Zoom call after and all have dinner together. So they've really been really fun.
Yes, a really fun opportunity. You can bring your whole family together despite where you're at all across the country and enjoy a cooking class all at once. So really fun that you're able to do that. Lindsey, tell me more about what we can do for Mom though. This is right around the corner.
Yes, I know, it's coming right up. So what we're going to be doing, the grocery stores have been better. We've been able to find food again. Things have kind of normalized that way. But we still want to keep it simple. Depending on how old, whether you're like a dad watching this and you want your kids to make mom breakfast, or you're a little bit older and can make it on your own, we wanted to do something that was approachable, looks fancy, but it's totally deceiving. It's super, super easy. So we're going to start with a frittata, which is basically just an omelet, but baked. And so it's less maintenance than an omelet. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our ingredients to our pie dish. So I've got some hash browns to make it kind of, a little bit more filling. And then I'm gonna add some chopped green bell pepper. You can do spinach, you can do mushrooms if you really like that, whatever you'd like to do. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese as well. And I like to add all of my omelet toppings per se to the bottom of the pan. And then what we're gonna do in here, I've got 6 eggs. You usually do about 6, maybe 7 eggs per pie dish, depending on the size of your pie dish. Just remember that they do expand, so you don't want to have a big eggy mess for mom to clean up. So I've got some eggs, salt and pepper, and a little bit of cream that makes your eggs nice and fluffy. And we're just gonna whisk those up. And then, as you can see with our beautiful ingredients here in the dish, what we're gonna do is just pour the eggs over top. And then, to make it extra pretty, I've got some tomato slices here, and I'm just going to. So first what I'm going to do is kind of stir this all together. So again, like I said, it's kind of like a big omelet, but that's just baked. So you don't have to sit and babysit it. You don't have to make sure everybody's eggs are cooked perfectly. This is just super, super simple. And so there's frittatas and then there's quiches. And a quiche is a frittata with a pie crust, which you can totally do. So just either make or buy a pie crust and put it on the bottom, bake it for a little bit, and then add all of this filling. But this makes it so, so simple. So I even had those eggs ready in the fridge and just stirred them up this morning, had my ingredients chopped, so you can kind of prep ahead, but it's only like a 2-minute prep. So I've got all of those together, and then I'm just going to add a couple tomato slices to the top of this. And when I bake this, it's going to turn out super pretty. It looks super impressive, but any age range can do this, like I said. So super simple. You just bake this in the oven at 400 for about 30 minutes. I've got one in the oven, so if it gets done in this segment, I'll pull it out and we can see it. And just really simple.
I love how you've really thought of everything, because sometimes, frankly, on Mother's Day, I tell my family, just don't make me anything because I don't want to clean up the big mess.
Exactly.
So you've thought ahead about not a lot of dishes, easy prep, but it looks nice.
Dish.
So good job, Lindsey. I'm impressed.
Totally.
You also have an idea for waffles. Tell us more.
Yes. So waffles are pretty simple, but again, this is something that is simple, but deceivingly very impressive. So we're gonna do a waffle charcuterie board, or a breakfast charcuterie board. So you've seen these charcuterie boards with cheeses and meats and nuts and seeds and stuff like that. But we're gonna do it with breakfast. And I'm gonna show you, sometimes charcuterie boards can be a little intimidating because, you know, you don't really know where to start because you've got all of these ingredients, which I'll show you here, but it really is just about getting started and then getting a move on. So what I've got here are a whole bunch of fruits. I've got some toppings for waffles, and I've got my waffles here cut up into quarters. So what we're going to do, whenever you do a charcuterie board, you want to start with one of your like heavier objects. So in this case, or like the star of the show, in this case, it is the waffles. And so I'm just going to kind of stack these all down the middle, really, and make them kind of the focal point so that that's what people are grabbing, because again, it's a waffle board. But then we just make them pretty, they take up a lot of space, and then you just build around that. So we've got our waffles in here, and as you can see, it was just super quick, super easy, just kind of throw them in there. And then I've also got some bacon and sausage, and so I'm going to put a couple pieces over here. And really you're just kind of going for, with a charcuterie board, you're going for like textures and like patterns and height. So if you can get anything kind of up high with the waffles stacked together instead of just putting them all flat, you can see that it adds like an extra dimension. We're going to add, and you don't want to put everything of the same kind right next to each other. You want it to look a little messy, but intentionally so. So as you can see, I'm not putting like the bacon and sausage next to each other. I'm then going to add some berries and things like that. So actually, I think I will add kind of my toppings. So I've got a little bit of honey here. I've got some Biscoff because I just don't think you can have waffles without Biscoff or Nutella. Personally, it's delicious. I made some homemade whipped cream, or you can just put a little bit of store-bought whipped cream in a little jar or a cute little bowl. That's another great way to add some like fanciness to your charcuterie dish without actually having to do anything. So I'm gonna add my whipped cream here. Now I'm just going to add my berries in to kind of finish everything off. So, and my fruits.
While you finish that board off for us, just tell us where we can find more about LK cooking, and definitely I feel better about Mother's Day. I'm looking forward to having a nice breakfast, and it's really a simple, fun idea. So where can we get more information, Lindsey?
Super simple. So you can find me, I'm mostly active on Instagram at LK Cooking, and then you can get all of the information for my cooking classes and everything at lkcooking.com.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much, Lindsey, for joining us virtually. Can't wait to have you back in studio. Now we're all hungry. We love eating your delicious food, but really a great idea for Mother's Day. Thanks again for preparing this for us. All right, we will be back with more. We're going to talk about flooding right after this.